This is the Dollar Tree wood blank that I am going to be using this DTF hack on. So for this DTF hack, you are going to need a sublimation printer. I am using an Epson EcoTank that I've converted over to sublimation printing. I'll have a link below for that. And then also I am using Sendale, their film here, DTF transfer film, and Sendale white powder. You definitely need to have the DTF powder and the film, and I find this film and powder works very well. And you also need a heat source for this DTF hack. So I am using my htvront Auto Heat Press 2. For this raw wood, I want a pattern that is dark that I'm going to be putting on. So I started looking, I'm in my Creative Fabrica. I have the all access. I will have a link below for that. But I found a few things. This was a little too dark for me. I'm not a fan of that, but you want some dark colors when you're putting it on raw wood. And then I saw this pattern and I really like it, but I don't think there's enough space on that cross for it. So then I looked at this pattern and I really like this paisley seamless pattern. So I think downloaded this and I already extracted the files. So I'm going into my Canva. I have the Canva Pro account, and so I am going to do a custom size. I'm going to change it to inches here first. And that cross is 9.5 inches high. So I'm going to go 9.75. And the width of that is 7 inches. So I'm going to go 7.25. And so now I'm going to create a new design here. And I am going to uploads here, go to my downloads. There it is, seamless patterns. And let's look at these and take a quick look at these. Switch it to large so you can see it. And I thought, I like this one, but I thought this is nice. Now you got to remember that everywhere that the white is, that wood tone will show through. So where the white is, there is going to be um, no ink. And so it is going to be just plain, um, just plain wood tone behind that, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So now I'm going to stretch this out and I want it to fit nicely on here. And if you find part of it that you think is better than others, you can move it around. So I could move it this way a little bit and try and get the leaf in there a little bit better, I guess is what I'm trying to say. If you wanted the leaf to hit the cross, I don't want it this big. I want the pattern to be smaller. So I'm just going to use the regular size here and just stretch it out all the way. So this is the pattern, the design that I want. I could also just bring it into a Word document here. I'll open a Word document here. Give it a second. Thinking. And I could just open a blank document and go to layout here and size. I'm just going to use an 8.5 by 11. I want to keep my orientation as portrait. I'm going to drop my margins down to 0 and I can just bring in that image. So let's try it this way as well. You don't have to go into Canva for this. So let's go into our downloads here. We have our papers. Unfortunately, I forgot which one it was. So it's this one, I believe. And we'll bring that in. And then you're going to do the wrap and through icon. And so maybe this is the way I want to go with this. So I'll shrink this down so that you can see what I'm talking about. So if you go under picture format here, and you go over here, you can see the size. It's 5.25. So I could go up to the 9.25 here for height, 9.25, and it will automatically adjust that to it'll adjust it. So now it's at the 9.25, and of course it's not 9.25 across because it is off the page. But this is plenty big, so I do need the 9.25 up and down. So I have to be careful here. So now I have to make the choice if I like this pattern better or if I want to download the pattern that I have in Canva. And I actually think that the pattern in Canva, let's look at the two of them together here. I'll shrink this down so that you can see it full page here. And we'll see which one we like better. So I'll go to my Canva, pretty almost the same, but this one has more detail. I might just print from Word. So I'm going to go into Canva though, and I am going to shrink this down, or excuse me, I'm going to download it so that you can see. I'm going to download, I'm going to raise up the DPI just because I can, and I will do a transparent background here, and I'll download this, and then I'll bring it into Word here, and we'll compare them side by side to see which one we want to use. I'm going to shrink this a little bit more. All right, so now I'm going to insert picture, see if that's done downloading yet. Oh, looks like it's done. Yeah, it's done. So now in Word, I'll upload that from my downloads here, and we'll see which one looks better here. I'm going to do the wrap and through so I can move it around on the paper. They're pretty much the exact same size. So I am just going to use the one that's on the Word document already, although this will use more ink. So I will delete this one and I will bring in my picture that we just made in Canva because this is going to be the exact size that I want. So I'm going to do the wrap and through, and then you can see up here in picture format right here, 9.75 by 7.25. So I'm not going to have all that extra ink, and I really don't want to run my ink over the edge of that film. So I will go and I'll get this printed. So you're going to go under File and Print. And I am using my Epson EcoTank 2840 that I've converted over to sublimation printing by adding sublimation ink. And then I'm going to go under Properties and I am going to pick Premium Presentation Paper Matte and I'm going to pick High Quality. Oh, wait, for that film, we want Premium Photo Paper Glossy and we want High Quality. And then under more options, we're going to turn off high speed or bidirectional printing. I forgot this one's going on the film. So we need to make sure that we have the right setting for that. And I will go back to that here. Image options, I'm going to emphasize more and emphasize thin lines and hit OK. And because this is going to be reversed, you want to mirror your image, especially if you have words. So now let's go back to the main one here and we will look at this again. So if I was printing this on sublimation paper, I would pick Premium Presentation Paper Matte. But because this is going on that DTF film, we want to have either Premium Photo Paper Glossy or Photo Paper Glossy. And I am just going to pick the Premium Photo Paper Glossy and then hit OK, and I'll get this printed. On this box for the DTF transfer film, it tells you that this is the print side. So when you take it out of the packaging, you want to make sure that you have that side in that's going to be printing on. So now I'm taking this powder that we're going to be using and I have it in a box lined with parchment paper so that we can run it through. And then when I'm done with this, I can just put it right back into the packaging. I have a clean piece of parchment paper on my pressing mat here because we are going to lay our DTF image on here and I want this to be a clean surface. Here comes our DTF film. Now this film is so good. You do not have to have a carrier sheet on the back. The printer reads it. A lot of the DTF hacks do not work because you have to add a piece of paper on the back. This you do not. It's almost done. Now remember, this is sublimation ink. And here is our DTF film printed. I'm going to let this just dry for a few seconds here, and then I'm going to run it through the powder. So I left some powder on here so that you can see that you just run it through like this and you get a good coating, and then tap it off, and then we're going to take it to our heat press. So I have the film on my protective paper, and I have the powder side up. So the ink and powder side is up, and I am just going to slide this under my press. I am not going to close it. We just want this to heat up so that we can watch it, and I'm going to watch it carefully, and we're going to watch it change and get that plasticky look to it. So I pulled this out to give it a look, and you can see the darker color here, but there's still a little bit here that hasn't finished. So I am going to put this back under. So this looks like it cured well. So I'm going to leave this here, and then I'm going to get my cross on it, and we will get that pressed. When this is done, you'll feel it. It's got a really unique texture to it, and you can tell that it's hard now. So that is what you want. Now I have carefully put my cross under, and I have the printed side, the rough side, down on the cross. And so I want to make sure that I have this on here just right. And I am going to tape this onto my paper like so that it doesn't move. So we're going to use heat resistant tape. Then we are going to cover this with some silicone paper, and we are pressing 385 degrees for 40 seconds with firm pressure. All right, my silicone paper is on top. I'm going to, make sure that stays in place there. I'm going to put this under, and again, 385 for 40 seconds. We definitely want a cold peel for this, so I'm going to set it off to the side and let it cool down completely. Now you're going to see as you pull this off these rubbery pieces, which is okay because this does turn into like a plastic. So just peel this very carefully, and we'll clean up those rubbery pieces or these plastic pieces around the edges. I used a little handheld rotary tool to sand off these edges. You can see the debris that came off. It worked really well. You could just use sandpaper as well, but you can see this came out really, really nicely. It's just such a nice, firm, hard finish on it. So now I've got this wooden embellishment. I think I got this at Hobby Lobby. I just dug it out of my stash here, and I am going to be putting some acrylic paint on there. Now I put a fine coat, or a thick coat I should say, of Mod Podge on to this, and then I sprinkled some crystal glitter. Now after this dries completely, I will add it to the cross. And here is our finished product. This worked out so well. This DTF hack on wood, it is just so great. It has such a good finish to it. So now what to do with this? Give me some ideas in the comments on what you would like to see me do with this cross now that I have it together. Thank you for taking the time to watch my video. Please like my video, subscribe to my channel, see links below, and leave me a comment.